PER, offensive efficiency and yards per game, but that's not all. KC led the NFL in scoring in regular season, but the number one scoring offense hasn't made the Super Bowl since 2016, the Falcons, and hasn't won the Super Bowl since the 2009 Saints. Hi again. Solo dolo. There's my friends. Which team remaining has the best offense, Dan?
I'll say Philadelphia Eagles. I think they have the best offensive line left. I think they have the best offensive line in the NFL. I think they have the most athletic and physical offensive line in the NFL. Football always has and always will start there offensively. I also think that they can't be wrong on a lot of their plays. You know, Molly, if you go back, like even against the Giants, the Eagles ran like 5 or 6 plays. But with Jalen Hurts, those plays have like 4 or 5 different options every single play. Imagine how stressful that is for a defense. Not only do you have to contend against trying to find a guy, are we good enough to cover Devontae Smith? Do we have people good enough to cover A.J. Brown? Can we handle some of the speed on the perimeter? Do we have people who are not only athletic enough but physical enough to tackle Jalen Hurts when he does choose to become a ball carrier? There's so much different level. There's so many different levels to this Philadelphia Eagles offense. So I think that, I said this the other day, all 4 football teams left, all offenses are, they have an advantage both in scheme and talent. But Philadelphia has a big advantage in both scheme and talent and nuance of their offense when it comes to being able to play 11-on-11 football. None of the other 3 teams want to play in that style. I think we took for granted, at least I did, how great Jalen Hurts is and all the impact that he has on everybody on this offense and how much easier he makes all their jobs. Philadelphia, man, is so difficult to stop.
I get where you're coming from, Dan. I would tell you that I'm going to disagree for the moment and tell you about the Cincinnati Bengals. We spent a lot of time talking about the Philadelphia Eagles and what they bring to the table. We know what Jalen Hurts does. We know what they've been doing with their running attack. We know how potent their offensive line is. A.J. Brown is that stud. Tennessee should have never lost them. Devontae Smith out of Alabama has lived up to expectations to some degree. Goddard is no joke. We understand this. Do you realize that the Cincinnati Bengals have won 10 straight games?
Yeah.
You realize the Cincinnati Bengals haven't lost. I'm going to look this up here. Cincinnati has not lost a game since Halloween in the National Football League.
Who'd they lose to?
October 31st. October 31st to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns.
Yep. 2 pairs.
All right? Okay, the Buffalo game got postponed, obviously, in light of the Hamlin situation. Thank God he's okay. They've won 10 straight. They haven't lost a game since Halloween. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow is completing 68% of his passes, thrown 35 touchdowns, and has people mentioning him in the light of Joe Montana and Tom Brady and people like that. We know what Jamar Chase is. We know what T. Higgins can bring to the table. Mixon coming out of the backfield has been running the football effectively. Because of the way Burrow has been throwing the football, not in any way minimizing or throwing shade on the profound impact that clearly Jalen Hurts, a top 2 candidate for league MVP, and clearly the runaway winner for Most Improved Player award. We get all of that. But Joe Burrow is the reigning AFC champion, okay? And knowing that, everybody was talking about Buffalo and Kansas City, and all he's done is say, y'all must have forgot, and has methodically went about the business of busting one person's you-know-what after the other.
Yeah, you're bad.
For the last 2, and for the last 2, nearly 3. It's January 26th. We're 5 days away from January 31st. He wins this game. He will not have lost in 3 months in the National Football League. I just want everybody to remember that.
That's stupid.
And understand, we can talk about Cincinnati's defense, we can talk about all this other stuff, but everything starts with Joe Burrow. If it wasn't for Joe Burrow, Bengals fans would still have bags over their heads, calling themselves the Ingles, okay? Taking the B out of it. That's what they would be doing. That's what this brother brings to the table. I'm just saying.
He's a bad dude, man. You ain't got to convince me.
But I'm just going to roll with that right now. He's a bad brother now.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I've been, ever since 2019, I think if we look at Joe Burrow, I don't disagree with you, Stephen A. Like, I do because I picked the Eagles because their offensive line, but I can't sit here and get into an argument about it with you because, I mean, I love Joe Burrow in that offense, so.
Last point. Last year, he got sacked 51 times, if I remember correctly. I don't have the number in front of me. I think it was 51 times. And I know he got hit at least another 40 times. He got sacked another 20 times in the postseason or whatever. It's like 71 sacks crying out. It's some crazy number like that.
Right.
They still went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They still went to
If they win the Super Bowl this year, it's the greatest turnaround in North American sports history.
Joe Burrow is that dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
This is goodbye for now. I hope you find all those missing socks. Maybe I'll see you on NFL Live later, and I will see you in studio on Monday to break down all championship weekend. Can't wait for that. With the Playmaker and RC and SA.
Don't miss me too much,
Our
man.
Mondays.
Let me get $300, Stephen A., so I can get a parking pass. Thank you.
Oh, let me get that money gun back, and I can help you out.
Absolutely not.
It's my new
you
best friend.
cheapskate.
All right.
Venmo me.
Oh, my gosh. It's championship weekend, and we have our gambling guru, Joe Fortenbaugh, here with us live from Las Vegas. Joe, here's what I need to know. Did you see the tease when I had the money gun getting ready for you? Did you see it? No?
Molly, I'm skipping through all that. I want to apologize on behalf of Eagles fans everywhere for what we did to your Giants last weekend. If only someone had come on this show to give you a warning about that. We're sorry what we had to do.
Yeah.
You don't like the Danster, man?
That's fine. I mean, whatever you want. I mean, I'm good.
No, I gotta give you
I've been called worse.
nickname.
I just don't think it's. I don't think it's that
that's
great.
not acceptable.
I think you know what it is, Key. I think you could do better.
I can do better.
That's what it is.
What do you want me to call you? What you want me to call you, Danny Boy?
Yeah.
Danny Boy. That sounds like a good name. What's up, Danny Boy?
More condescending. That's how
Danny
it works.
Boy?
You can do better. I'll get way more condescending.
Danny
Garage
Boy's
is
not
a good
condescending.
Garage
People
is
like
good.
Danny
wish
Boy.
I had a name as good, last name like Graciano. It just sounds good.
Danny Boy is like Danny Boy.
That's why you like
Danny.
that name. Yeah.
You know what Danny Boy is? Danny Boy, and Max can speak to this. Danny Boy is like the white dude in the hood that hangs around all the brothers, and it's Danny Boy. Danny Boy coming to play hoops with us. I know Dan's uncomfortable right now.
I cannot play basketball.
Like white boy. Think about it. White boy Rick, white boy Dan. Come on, man, stop.
I'm a try-hard basketball guy. That's it. That's just what I got.
So, but
Hustle
you
face.
do pay attention to hustle face.
I'm not.
But you do.
I'm not sneaking up on anybody.
You do pay attention to football.
Yeah,
and,
sometimes. Yeah.
We are entering now the conference championship round.
We are?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are. What are you paying most attention to in Niners Eagles?
Niners, Eagles. Well, Hurts, I think, is still the focal point because he is playing injured. There's no question about it. They're able to, and they've answered every single question about how they're going to get around that and how they're going to handle it. Like last week, obviously, they looked fantastic. Tougher test. No offense to the Giants fans out there. They had a great year. Tougher test this week, obviously, for Hurts and the Eagles. So, do they have to ask more of him? And if so, does that affect their chances, right? Because they got up. If they can get up early, if they can hit some deep shots early against the Niners defense, which is a little susceptible to that, and then all of a sudden the Eagles can start running the ball, then I think they're in real good shape. So I'd like to see, what Hurts can do, how long he can hold up in this game, and whether he is asked to hold up a little longer than he was last week.
Now, you mentioned, Dan, that if they can get up early, the Eagles have a high-flying attack, right? They score fast,
Yeah.
and they get up on teams. Now, on the other side, the other quarterback, we haven't seen Brock Purdy come from behind in double-digit fashion. 2 score, yes. 9, yes. But we haven't seen 10, 12, 13,
Right.
14, and so on, him be able to do that. What's your expectations for him? If, in fact, the Eagles get out to a 17-3 lead or 14-0 lead or something along those lines.
I think that's the 49ers' nightmare scenario because you have a defense on the other side that's piled up, 70 sacks, right? So if you're in a position in the game where the Eagles know you have to throw, then they have you where they want you. And then if you're Brock Purdy, look, again, another guy who's answered every question so far. And if he can get into that situation and deliver, then it's just one more feather in his cap in terms of he's the starter going forward